Some of you might think this is really neat, so I'm going to just show you how to do this. It was an idea that came to me because, you know, us being in isolation, being on Google Meets all the time, and having the computer as this invaluable tool at this point, you know, all this artwork that we're doing is on the computer. We're showing it to each other, and, you know, we're on the computer. So I thought it would be kind of fun to actually put the image in a computer screen. So I could go and take a photograph of my computer, which would be the very best thing because we're not allowed to use other people's artwork, you know, and then call it our own. But we are using the photograph of the computer in this case as really a frame, kind of illustrating a point. So I went and I found the biggest image I could of what appears to look like a kind of an imitation Mac computer right here. All right, so I just thought this was kind of fun. So take a quick look. All right, I have the image of the computer right here, and then my final image is right here. So first, I'm going to drag this over the Photoshop icon. Brings my computer in. Beautiful. Okay, then let me just take my portrait in. Okay, now my portrait might not fit perfect because of the dimensions of the screen. I have a few options here. I could potentially, let me actually enlarge my picture to the point of no distortion. Now I could, for the sake of this, I could make my image larger and then crop away. But you know what I think I'm going to do? I didn't think of this before. So actually let me reduce my image, and I'm not distorting it. All right, I'm just kind of setting it into place here. I'm going to hit the return key. I'm going to take the visibility off for right at this moment. I'm going to go back to my background layer. Okay, I am going to take the rectangle marquee, create a rectangle. All right, now I'm going to go get my color picker. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tools down, and I am going to pick this this kind of grayish, dark gray color. It'll appear right here on my toolbar. I'm then going to go under my paint bucket. Well, that is the paint bucket. Usually the gradient tool is up here on the top, but underneath, and by the way, everybody should know, if you click and hold any tool on the toolbar, if it has a little tiny arrow to the bottom right, you'll see more tools underneath. I'm going to get the paint bucket tool, and I am going to, what in the world, that was like created some crazy pattern. I am going to step backward because God only knows what just happened. Toggle last state. I've never even seen that. Okay, this is pretty darn crazy what just happened. I have never even seen this before, of course, because no layers are selected. I'm gonna create a new layer, layer 1. Let me see what happens here. Of course. All right. I'm gonna then drag that down, and I'm going to put the visibility back on my picture. So basically what I did, everybody, was, I'm not exactly sure what just happened. That is an example of some troubleshooting because really all I wanted was a square filled with that same gray or that very similar gray so that then I could put my picture on top of it and not have to enlarge my picture to bigger than I wanted to. All right, I'm then going to go back, and I went Apple T. Now I'm on the layer of my picture. I brought the visibility back. Now my layer is active. Okay, Apple T, Apple T. All right, and then I'm going to make my picture bigger, but it obviously can't be bigger than the computer screen or it will not make any sense at all. So what I'm going to do is, I'd like to keep the mask. All right. I'm going to hit the return key. I am then going to take this right here, and you'll see, and I'm going to delete. Oh, what did that say, everybody? I'm going to hit it again, delete. Could not complete your request because the smart object is not directly editable. I have to go, okay, back to my layer, right click, and I have to rasterize layer or convert to a smart object. I think I'll rasterize the layer. I don't want to convert it to the smart object yet. I'll explain more about that at some point in time. All right, and then I'm going to go down here because you see there's this border on the computer. Just trying to make it more realistic. Hit the delete key right there. All right, and now I have what looks to be pretty realistic. This up here might be a little bit too long. And I think that looks actually pretty good. If I want the background a little bit darker, I can make the background a little bit darker. And if you feel like this doesn't look realistic enough to you because it should fill the computer screen, you can then go in and you can enlarge it if you feel that that is necessary. That's a necessary thing for you to do. I'll do that just in case you think that's necessary. I'm then going to go back here. Find the border again, somewhere around here. Delete that. All right. And then we have this cool end product that you might think is really, really super neat to look at. It looks like our picture is in a computer screen and our entire piece is communicating that we are in COVID times, we are in isolation, we have been working on our computers endlessly to create artwork, to communicate with each other, to make Zoom calls, to do everything. This is our only means of really connection to the outside world, and the computer has become our most valuable tool and probably our best friend to date. All right, so this is Michele Hermsen. Hopefully you enjoyed this second part of this photo montage tutorial.